back.
Hello, hello.
We just recorded a full episode, and turned out we didn't have any audio from it, so...
It must have deleted.
Yeah, it must have deleted.
Because I definitely...
It was
doing
recording.
that.
Yeah, it was definitely recording.
Doing that.
We messed up, so instead of uploading a bad version with bad audio, we're just going to re-record a new topic.
Should we pick another one?
Should we pick another one?
Or should we just talk?
Or should we just talk about something?
About what?
I don't know. Let's make something up as we go.
I feel like you gotta do that genuinely.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons I always say I like podcasts, to just get into it.
Yeah.
Because they're always already in a conversation.
Yeah.
But when people start a podcast and try to think of something to talk about, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you have to think about something on the spot, it definitely makes it a lot harder.
Yeah, it's like, what do you think about? But then if you're just having a conversation with somebody, it's super easy to come up with a topic.
Definitely.
Because you don't think about coming up with a topic.
Yeah.
You just talk.
The topics just kind of flow naturally.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we shouldn't have even said that.
Yeah. What's your biggest mistake you think you've ever made?
Whoa. I don't...
Work-wise. Like photography or video-wise.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I don't actually think I have like a one standout fuck up.
In your career.
The biggest mistake. I don't know, actually. I don't really know.
Anything bad happen in your career?
Not to the point where I was like, that was really bad.
Okay.
Like I've had things delete. Actually, I don't even
Man, I've had a few. I've had a few bad experiences. I remember. Okay, so I'll share two. Two of like the biggest mistakes I think that come to mind. So the first one was I just started working with a guy working for some dental practices in Vancouver, doing video work for them. And this working relationship kind of started off with like a weird start, and the whole idea of this project was kind of strange. We talked about this before.
I thought of my idea. I'll say it after yours.
And so anyways, I'm going to Vancouver. My business partner at the time, who I was working with, he was living in Vancouver part-time, but also living on Vancouver Island part-time. But he was already in Vancouver, and he was like, hey, let's do a shoot on this weekday, this time, blah, blah, blah. We'll do it here. Like, he sent me the address and everything. And he was like, don't worry about any gear. I'll pick up all the gear. I'll get everything. Just bring whatever you think you might need, and just let me know what I should pick up. So I tell him to go pick up, this camera and stuff. He goes and does it. We get all this gear, and we're shooting at a dental practice, right? So, dental practices are pretty professional places. Like, they're pretty professional. They're pretty high up. Like, you don't really just start working for a dental practice as, I don't know, a kid with a camera, And so we go in, and I had a little bit of video experience at this time, but not a lot. And my friend who I was working with, he kind of thought that, I don't know if he thought that I knew way more than I did or what, but he was just a little bit funny when it came to this kind of thing. And anyways, we shoot this entire thing, and oh, dude, it was so bad. We shot like interviews. We shot all of the staff who worked there. The main dentist who like owned the practice or whatever. Like, we shot a bunch of stuff with him. And essentially it was kind of like a commercial for this dental practice. And we go back to this guy's apartment after to go and edit everything and start putting it together. And somehow I format the fucking SD cards that we shot it on and lost all the footage. I thought it transferred onto my hard drive. I formatted the SD cards, which is so stupid because we didn't have to use the SD cards after. I just, for some reason, decided to format them. And all the footage was gone.
That sucks.
And then I had to tell this guy, I had to basically be like, hey, I'm a fucking idiot, and I just formatted all of the footage off the SD cards, and I don't know how to get it back. And he was like, what do you mean? Like, isn't it on your hard drive? I was like, I thought it was on my hard drive, but it's not on my hard drive, and it's no longer on the SD card. We have no footage.
Oh, that sucks.
And so he goes into like full-on panic mode, dude. Like, literally, as we're trying to figure out what we're gonna do, his first idea was, okay, I'm going to smash the window on my Range Rover and we're gonna make it look like someone broke into my car and stole our hard drives and stole the camera gear, so that he wanted a way out of it. He didn't want to look like an idiot and be like,
Just tell him you fucked up.
Well, he didn't want to do that.
Dude.
He was literally like, we need to smash the window. I'll park it on a bad street. We'll smash the window and we'll just say someone stole everything. And I was like, dude, that's a little extreme. Like, I don't feel comfortable with that. And so I go online. I'm like, how to recover information from a formatted SD card. And basically, I found out that if you format an SD card and you don't write on anything on it, like if you just format it and like don't do anything with it, you can recover all of the information.
Ooh.
Potentially. And so I bought this program that night for like, it was like $40. I bought this program to recover information for that exact purpose.
Yeah.
And we got all of the video footage back. And we ended up getting all the footage and everything worked out.
I think it's so weird that when you do a fuck up like that, because everyone's like deleted something by accident. It's almost like it does not matter how professional you are.
Yeah.
You could be doing this for 50 years.
Yeah.
You just press delete by accident. It happens. And people get so scared that I do it too. They get so scared that they fucked up and that they're like the worst person. Like, I'm not professional. Because I've done that before where not necessarily like deleting something, but I did something that wasn't necessarily like professional or didn't turn out the right way. And I'm like, fuck, they're gonna think I'm an amateur.
Yeah.
But it's like I feel like that doesn't end. It's like you do it less over time.
Yeah.
But like shitty things happen.
Yeah.
A lot.
Dude,
That's
it's
why
like the Hannah
precautions.
Montana lyrics. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days.
There's so many songs you could have thought of to like reference that.
Hannah Montana, baby.
Just like the Hannah Montana lyrics.
Yeah.
That sucks.
What's yours?
Mine's not really like that kind of a story. Remember when I lived in LA for like a month?
Yeah.
While I was there, I met I was there with my girlfriend at the time, and she was modeling, and I went to one of her shoots and met this, and this was like a half a year into getting into photography.
Yeah.
And I met this this guy who is a professional photographer in LA who works for like really big brands and stuff, and he has like done stuff with celebrities and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And he was a super nice guy, and he basically like pretty much told me, he's like, yeah, if you want to like come to shoots and like learn stuff and blah blah blah, and like almost kind of like not an internship, but like like he was gonna help me out with some stuff. And I was only there for a month, and it was just the fact that like I had an opportunity to basically hang out and learn from this very professional guy in LA, not just anywhere, but in LA.
Yeah.
And super nice guy, super helpful, and I just left.
Yeah.
And I think that was one.
Like, you were working for him, or
I wasn't working for him. I painted his house.
Nice.
To help him out.
That's cool.
Like he's like, yeah, I'll give you a couple bucks to paint my house. I was like, sweet. And
so basically, you had an in the LA fashion world with photography, which you were really into at the time.
At the time, I was really into that stuff, and I had an in.
You just kind of ditched it,
and because of stupid reasons, I just ditched it. Yeah,
that's fair, man.
That's
fair.
And sorry, Drew. His name was Drew.
Shout out, Drew.
Super nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I have another bad mistake, and this one I made when I first got into. You know, it's funny. All of my like biggest career mistakes have come from video jobs, which is really funny. Photography jobs always gone really great.
Maybe you should quit.
No. And okay, so I had just gotten into video at this point. Like, just gotten into video. I made a couple little YouTube videos, and I was like, yeah, I do video. And I worked at a store, and there was this woman who used to come in all the time, and I forget how it worked out, but one day I was talking about doing photography and doing a bit of video, this and that, like how I make these videos. And she was like, oh, can you make a video for my company? She runs this big marketing company. And she's like, yeah, would you be able to make me a video, you know, like
I remember
we're
this.
doing these awards and, we want this video done, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, of course I can do that. No problem. And I remember because I watched a Casey Neistat video of how he talked about when he started video, he had no idea what he was doing, but he just kind of rolled with it and he just went for it. And I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm just going to roll with it. And so I did. And I remember I invested in a little bit of gear and I rented some stuff for this video shoot. But again, I had to make a commercial for this marketing company.
Yeah.
And I remember I put a lot of work into it. I planned everything out. I had a full script that I sent to the owner and I was like, hey, you need to, can you read this for when we come and shoot, blah, blah, blah. And, I had everything pretty dialed. I had my shot list ready and I knew what I was going to be doing when I got there. And so it comes down to the day of the shoot and I have my little Nikon D3200, which is the most entry-level DSLR interchangeable lens camera out there.
And it was red.
And it was red. And so I had that with like a 50 mil and my kit lens, the most basic shit ever,
go.
like lowest production. And so we go through, I'm like shooting all my shots. I had a little like movie stabilizer at the time, like a glide cam sort of thing. So I was using that. And then I had these dinky little lights that like mount on top of your camera there was like an interview section of the video. And so we shoot all this stuff. I have the dinkiest little gear. And then I go home, I start editing it. I put together the video and dude, it was so bad. It was so fucking bad.
Did you think it was bad then?
I had a feeling. I was like, this didn't, because I had this vision in my head of how I wanted it to look. And then when it came down to it and putting it together, I was like, okay, I see the attempt, but it did not line up with what I had in my mind.
Yeah.
And so I had to work with what I had. And so I remember I sent it to her. And I was like, hey, here's like the first draft. Like, let me know what you think. And just like no reply for, I think like a week. I just didn't get a reply. And I was like, oh, this is weird. And so I emailed her again after a week. And I was like, hey, just curious what you thought, blah, blah, blah. And I forget what she said after that. But it was something along the lines of, oh, okay, maybe there's a few changes we can make. Like she was just kind of like fluffing it off.
Yeah.
And then she misspelt my name in the email. And she like always misspelt my name in the email. And so I remember I was kind of like annoyed at this point just because she misspelled my name and she was just kind of fluffing it off or whatever. And so I kind of called her out on it. And I forget what I said, but it was something along the lines of like, hey, like, I would appreciate it if you could respond to me in a timely manner. And also, that's not how you spell my name. Like, I was just kind of pissed about it. And dude, she emailed me back and so much disrespect. I remember getting her email and it was like literally like this long on my phone. Like, it was a long email. And, dude, she ripped me apart. She was like, okay, first of all, like, I forget what she said. Maybe I could read it. But it was something along the lines of, okay, maybe if you knocked this thing out of the park and it actually turned out okay, I would have the respect to talk to you on time and blah, blah, blah. And then she, like, started telling me about, like, she, like, straight up lectured me. And I felt so bad after, because at the end of her email, she was like, oh, because she still owed me money for it. Because I charged her like $900 and then I got like a $250 deposit up front.
That's quite a bit.
So I got $250 up front. And I think in my email, I was like, also, you still owe me $650 or whatever. And in her email back, she like does this huge lecture, rips me apart. And then at the end, she's like, also, we won't be expecting any deliverables, so don't expect any payment. And at that point, I was like, I fucked up. I was like, shit. And so I emailed back. I was like, oh, damn. I'm really sorry. I messed up. This has been a huge lesson for me. And like, I fucked up. That's basically all I said. And yeah, that was just like a huge lesson in, I think it just gave me a lot of self-awareness more than anything. It just gave me the awareness where now if I don't know, if things are weird with a client or something, I don't just like call them out right away. Or
Don't
I
be a
don't just like
dick.
go to that.
Yeah.
You know, I figured out. But like, dude, I think if there was one experience that I've been through work wise that has like been my biggest lesson, it was that. Dude, I learned so much. Would I ever want to go through that again? Hell no. But like, it was honestly the biggest lesson. And at the end of the day, I'm really happy I went through it.
Yeah.
Because it taught me a lot about how to work professionally. It taught me a lot.
happened to me.
It just taught me a lot in general. It was a huge lesson. And so I'm not really embarrassed to tell that story anymore because it's just part of my journey.
Yeah.
And it was just something that I feel like I had to go through.
Yeah.
Because I'm happy to go through those big mistakes at such an early point where in the future I'm happy that I maybe don't have to relearn those things because I've been through them, because I feel like in the future I'll have way more to lose. You know, because say I have like an established production, photography, videography company at some point in the future, and then I didn't learn that lesson, so I got into that kind of situation again. Yeah. Who knows? That could have been,
it's like a $10,000 job instead of a $900
exactly.
job.
That could have turned out bad. Maybe they have connections. Maybe I'm in a much more niche market and they have connections and they tell a bunch of people whatever. That could go really bad. So it was awesome. It was a great experience.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I have any of those.
I like stuff like that. I don't know why, but afterwards, like after the fact, those big kind of failures.
Once it's done and it's not a big deal anymore, and you get through it, then you're like, okay, that was good.
I'm kind of happy I went through that.
Yeah, it's like that was a good lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in the time, you're like, shit.
Yeah.
It sucks.
What's your plans for the future? Do you have any future goals with your work? Work-wise, what's the next steps for Eddie McDonald?
I don't know, actually. I don't think I have, like,
a plan?
Honestly, no, because my plan completely changed because of coronavirus. So I did have a plan.
Yeah. What was your plan before?
My plan was to... Because I was starting to, I was starting to lose interest in photography and video just because I was getting, like, kind of bored with the stuff I was doing with it.
Yeah.
So I was just going to get, like, a regular job, and I was just going to keep it for, strictly like creative, whatever I want to do with the use.
Yeah.
So I was almost gonna like step away from it for a little while.
Yeah.
And now over the last like couple weeks of kind of just trying to figure out, because again, like because of everything that's going on in the world right now, it's not a normal time of like, oh, what are you gonna do in the next little while? It's like, because nobody knows. Like we could be stuck in quarantine until 2021.
Yeah.
Like that's possible.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's almost like I feel like planning right now is important because you kind of want to stay on track, and it almost kind of helps you stay sane.
Yeah.
It almost like makes you feel normal, and you gotta, keep a bit of normality in your life. But I don't really have anything like in specifics of what I want to do with the camera.
Yeah.
Specifically cameras. I have plans for like myself and things that I want to do.
Yeah.
That are kind of unaffected by whatever happens with coronavirus.
Totally.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say anything right now about the future.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's pretty uncertain.
Yeah. I think right now my biggest thing is I just want to get in really, really good shape.
It's good.
That's my goal.
Yeah.
My goal is to like become an athlete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of athlete?
I've always wanted to become a quote unquote professional athlete. And I don't mean professional athlete like I want to play in the NHL or I want to like not necessarily like a league or even like being competitive. It's just like I want to do something that I can either live off of or get like some sort of gain or be able to make some sort of effect with athletic things. And that's what I've always been interested in, people like that. And I've always wanted to do like athletic feats. Like I've always wanted to like have a goal of like, hey, I want to run an Ironman and then like train to do an Ironman. So like I think right now it's kind of like one of the, not an Ironman specifically, but over the last couple of weeks I've been like, hey, I want to use this immense amount of time that we now have to dedicate myself to becoming this athlete that I've always wanted to be. Yeah. So I'm just that's kind of where I'm at right now. Nice. Where I'm just going to like dedicate all my time to like getting in really good shape, to being healthy, to eating well, blah blah blah. Yeah. So that's kind of the plan right now.
Sweet.
Is just get
as in good shape as I possibly can. Yeah. Especially with all the time.
Yeah, and then there's like, and then like I just like for me, for me and my personal goals, like being in shape just opens up so many doors. Like being in really really good shape, like being in at like high end athletic shape, for my goals opens up a lot of stuff that I want to do.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's my goal right now. So it's not even
Get
like
fit.
a get fit, pretty
Get
much.
fit, baby.
Yeah, get fit, get real fit, get that summer bod, get real strong, get rid of that dad bod.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of it. Yeah, had a lot of time to think over the past couple of weeks.
What you been thinking about?
Just a lot of stuff. I don't mean like I've been thinking of one thing. I just mean like because quarantine and everyone's sitting now. Everyone's had a lot of time to just sit and think.
A lot of people can't sit and think.
I feel like
A lot of people are scared to sit with themselves.
I feel like yes, and I feel like quarantine has shown a lot of people what they're really like and what they're really in terms of like how they attack goals.
Yeah.
I saw this like one famous person, which is kind of ironic because they're a really big successful person, but it's like they basically just said that excuse of I don't have the time is really out the window now.
Yeah.
It's like that one time I said, oh, I'll do it when I have the time.
Yeah.
I still haven't done it. Yeah. It's like
At the end of the day, there's always the time.
there's always a time.
There's
Yeah.
always the time.
Yeah.
That's the weakest excuse in my opinion.
I think right now I'm actually more stressed than usual about doing things that are progressive because I feel like I have so much time now that I'm like, why? Like now there's literally no excuse.
Yeah.
There's no excuse. I mean, and everyone sees us differently. Like obviously, like I don't think everyone needs to be producing the most they've ever produced in time of like global pandemic, but like everyone takes it differently. Some people want to just like, because if let's say you work a job that is extremely stressful and you do it every single day or 5 days a week and it's your life, and this time is probably like awesome to just chill and do nothing if you're healthy and all that. But for people who are like aren't necessarily in that situation, they're very ambitious, this is a time where it's like you can, as long as whatever your ambition is can be done in the space that you have access to, it's like there's not really an excuse to not do it now. Right, whether it's like getting in shape and the whole getting in shape, I keep on seeing people being like, open up the gyms, this is ridiculous, can't work out. It's like if you have a meter by meter space on your floor, you can work out. Like it's not, it's and
a lot of really hard body weight exercises out there. A hard body weight.
Maybe not a meter by meter, maybe 2 meters by 2 meters. It's
a living room. Your bedroom floor.
Not even that. If you can fit your body lengthwise on the ground between furniture, you can do push-ups, you can do sit-ups, you can do planks, you can do squats.
Pretty much everything.
You can do everything you need.
Yeah.
You can still go outside, you can go for runs.
Yeah. People don't want to hear that though.
People don't want to hear that.
People want to hear that it's okay to do nothing. And it is okay to do
okay to do nothing.
Yeah.
But you will always feel better.
Yeah.
After doing the something instead of doing the nothing.
Yeah, making yourself
doing nothing is very not rewarding.
Yeah. But it's also, I was gonna say, you don't get anything out of it, but you don't lose anything out of it. But you do lose a lot from doing it.
You do lose a lot. You lose time.
You lose the possibility of that reward.
Exactly. And rewards come from hard work.
Yeah.
Like capitalism.
Yeah.
Be a capitalist with your fitness.
Quote of the day there.
You gotta work hard to get rewards. Nobody's gonna be giving you handouts.
I really wonder how long this whole thing is gonna stay like this for.
I honestly don't see any way out of it.
I feel like by the end of May, I think people will be like, it's summer and I'm going out to do summer. Because right now across the country, it's still kind of cold out. There's still snow on the ground in some places. So most people are okay being quarantined right now.
Yeah.
But dude, once it starts getting warm and once it's like summertime, people are going to be like, hell no, I'm going outside. I want to go do stuff.
I don't think the way it is right now will last a lot longer.
Yeah.
But I still think it will be a long time till things go back to normal.
Yeah.
Till it gets back to the point where you can go out to concerts and there's festivals and you can hang out with big groups and there's parties and stuff in clubs. Like I think that'll take a while.
Yeah.
But I think by summertime it'll be like, well, even in Edmonton, my aunt said the cafe she always goes to.
Yeah.
They have tables and chairs outside that are like farther apart, and it's for like the regulars that used to always go there.
Yeah.
And so they can go there and just like hang out on the patio.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it's like there's little things like that already starting to be like open, but I think it's also just the mentality now that even if tomorrow the government was like, all right, we're done, we figured it out, we killed it, everything's over, go back to normal, everyone would like, you'd go out and you'd like go to hug somebody, you'd be like,
this is weird.
Do we hug or don't breathe on? Like it's gonna be a weird like mental kind of
everyone's
obstacle we gotta jump over. Because even though like when things go back to normal, I'm not scared of germs. Like I'm not. I don't like. I'm one of those people that like if I get like dirty or I touch something dirty, I'm like, I'll wash my hands later. I'll be fine. Yeah. Like I'm not super scared of that stuff. But even like with that mentality, I will go out and I'll still feel weird for a little bit, just acting normal and touching people. Yeah. Like I almost feel like guilty. I'll be like, am I doing something wrong?
Right.
Like, yeah. So we'll see. It'll be weird though.
It's like after weed was legalized.
Yeah, like for a while there
you could go out and smoke weed in a public place.
Yeah.
But it's still I just have this weird feeling doing it anywhere that's not like my own space or something.
I still feel weird smoking weed in public.
Yeah. Not that I smoke that much weed, but I
don't think I ever have smoked weed in public.
Yeah, I don't think I have either.
Yeah.
But the thought of it, like just like going to like light up somewhere, I don't know. It's weird. So who knows? Who knows what our new normal will look like?
It'll probably be different.
It'll definitely be different for sure. Like I don't think the entire population can go through this experience and then go back to exactly
the same
what life was like before. It's just naturally it's just going to be a bit different now. I think a lot more people are going to start using hand sanitizer.
Yeah, I think that just general hygiene will probably go up.
Yeah. Dude, remember when we went to Costco grocery shopping and we had those gloves on? Mm-hmm. Do you remember how nasty your hands looked? Because the black gloves, like, showed everything. Yeah. That was disgusting.
So apparently gloves are debatably worse. I've heard.
I guess it depends because...
That's the thing, though. They don't fucking give... Like, there's so many answers.
Yeah.
And there's too many fucking opinions. It's annoying. Yeah. It's like you don't even... Because... And at first, it's like, oh, the scientists are saying this. But then it's like, there's that one doctor that puts up a video that says, they're all wrong. Yeah. This is what you should do. And you're like,
who do I
but he's a doctor. Yeah. So it's like, there's so many contradicting ideas right now that's why I've kind of just tuned out from it. And I don't really care about it anymore. It's like, when it's over, it'll be over. But like, I trust nobody.
Anything coronavirus that I see on YouTube or something, I skip it. I don't care.
Everything you guys said last week is wrong now, and you're saying like, so why are you now there's more research and blah blah blah, but what makes your guesses now more valid than your guesses last week?
Right.
They aren't. You don't know what the fuck's going on. Stop acting like you do.
Yeah.
Definitely people who aren't in a position that they like they're not doctors, they're not scientists,
Facebook moms.
They're just bloggers or they're Facebook moms or whatever, and they're giving advice. It's like, don't give advice because there's going to be people out there who trust you and you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Yeah.
Well, should we wrap it?
So what you should do... No, I'm just kidding. Let's wrap it up. Not in gloves though, because that doctor said they're worse.
Who knows?
Wear a mask, not gloves. Wear a glove on your left hand.
Well, apparently masks are supposed to be even worse.
Wear a glove on your left hand.
I've heard people say don't wear a mask. I heard CBC News say that you shouldn't wear a mask.
I've heard that the mask thing is because they don't want...
So there's a bunch of BS going around.
They don't want the hospitals to run out of masks, and the masks people are using thinking they're protecting themselves aren't doing shit because there's like holes in the side.
Yeah. If it's a surgical mask...
I don't think people understand how it works that like... Is it over?
No.
Oh. Almost. I don't think people understand how like air works. Because you could have a mask that covers your whole face, but if there's a hole right here, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like it's like it doesn't. It protects the masks like that are supposed to protect outgoing.
Yeah.
You're protecting other people when you wear that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, stay safe, everyone.
And that's my advice.
That's Eddie's advice
on COVID-19.
So, follow it or not. We'll see you in the next one.
You probably should follow it because I'm smart.
Nice.